Good afternoon. How is everybody? I'm hoping that we're all good. It's the weekend. Here we go again. I know these weeks come around ever so quick, don't they? It gets a little bit exciting though, because we're getting closer to the summer and closer to things starting to open up. So that's all good. So yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? So okay, what we're going to be doing today then? Oh, do you know, it's been a really busy day actually. And I must say, good news for anybody that's put an order in, even if it's the extended delivery stock. Woohoo! As long as Hermes collects today, it'll all be leaving here. So you will all have your orders a little bit earlier than you expected. So that's all good news, isn't it? I'm really pleased with that. Now, I'm working on a pinkish coloured tile today, and I have added a little bit of ink on the other side, so I'm just hoping it's dry enough. It's one of those things. Yeah, tile 122, is it, I think? Oh my goodness me, I know time goes so quick and you just sort of lose track. I know that next week it's the 12-month holiday, isn't it? For us all starting these tiles. Yeah, there you go, see. Pink, and I've added a little bit of pink pen on it just to give it a bit of a difference, you know, how we sort of, it's a bit of ink. I will get round to doing a little video of that, so yeah, bear with me on that one. Okay, are we ready then? Okay, 4 dots with a pencil, and I'm just going to use my regular pencil over the top of it. It's fine. There we go. Love that sort of subtle little bit of cloudiness in it. Yeah, Kathy. Pastel tiles. And of course, yeah, they will be available soon. I've just had my dates or my times from Create and Craft for the next show. So it's, yeah, you know, so I'm so sorry I don't give you all a lot of notice. It's because sometimes they'll give me a date and I'll know when I'm on, but then they change it. Or they change the times. So adding it to the Facebook page or anywhere, it just gets a little bit silly because I'm forever changing it. So I have had times for next week for Thursday evening. I think it's 6:45 or it might be 7:45. It's one of those. Oh dear me. And then 1:30 on Friday. So I'll be there then. Okay, anyway, don't worry about that now. Let's focus on this. And of course, getting your new stencils, whether it be this weekend or early next week. So here we go. I've just put my border around the outside there. And I'm going to come straight in with a pen, just as we always do. Okay, I can start from the middle, I can start from the end. I'm going to start from neither. I'm going to go from about here. And let's just come on in with, there we go, a bit of a line. Okay, so you can see where this one's heading already. There's no grid in this one. But come on, you've got this. It'll be fine. Don't panic with it. Deep breath. Okay, all right. So I'd say I've sort of gone halfway-ish, but you don't have to worry about that too much. All right, ready? So here we go. I'm going to come in and I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. And I'm going to put a bubble in. There we are. Oh, deep breath. Do you know, it's just nice now to relax. I'm shattered. But it's nice. At least I know I've got them all out. I really wanted to get them out. So there we go. I'm going to draw around. Got a bit of a teardrop going on there. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same on both sides. So, yes, Kathy, I know. So, you know, if you want to do the other side first, that's absolutely fine. So here we go. I'm going to just bring in a line. See a little bit of a curve going on there. And then another one. And another. And another. You see, they're getting a little bit smaller, but they're very, very similar. There we go. Okay. Oh no, I think, you know, we've actually got John to thank for it because he needed to, well, we needed the material to run the stencils and it was on order and due to be delivered today, which is why we said it was going to go out on Monday. but we didn't really trust that it was going to get here, so John went to fetch it. Okay, so here we go. A little bit of a design going on here. Now Leslie's still not asleep. She's still running that machine because, of course, we've got next week as well. Okay, so I'm going to start at the point here. I'm going to come a little bit larger, I think. Here we go. And from here to here. Okay. And then from here into here. You see, I'm creating that lovely little sort of curve on the top. Oh, and even better news, I've finally got in to be able to book my appointment for my vaccine. So I'm going to be joining the ranks tomorrow. Okay. And then the same, you see I'm turning it around. I'm definitely working from the top in. I don't want to sort of miss that point there. So I'm just coming in and working it through. God, Leslie. We have had a busy few days, haven't we? But it's great. It's really nice. And you know, we pack it as best as we can, so it's almost like a little gift when you get it, if possible. So if you've ordered the stencil storage bag and other things, please look inside it because we've put everything, everything inside. So yeah. We thought that'd be nicer. Okay, I'm just going to come on in now and I'm going to aura inside that shape there. Okay. Oh, do you think that's wise then to take a paracetamol before I go? I know I've heard, seen a lot of you mention that, so do you think so? At least I'm having it done at the weekend, so. Okay, there we go. And just doing that little aura as we go down. Oh, Amanda, are you? I'm having mine at between 10 past and 20 past 6 tomorrow evening. All right, same again. So I'm just going to aura down this side. Working my way there. Now, if you want to go larger with these, or if you want to, make more of these or make them larger and smaller, you can do. This is just my version. Plan a duvet day. I don't have time for a duvet day. Lots to do. Mind you, it's not work. I enjoy it. There we go. All right, so we've got this little bit of a design going. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to fill this little sort of edge with some lines. See, I'm just working my way down. It's like a little collar, isn't it? There we are. So here we go. I'm just going to put that one in to start with, and then I can edge around this side, and I can edge around this side. And I suppose the beauty of this as well is I could have done this with a white pen. So it's a choice thing, isn't it? I could have done it with a pink or a purple. That would have been nice. But no, I thought I'd go with the black. Just because I'm using these black and gold, they are really... I said there's no difference between these and the others. It's just the colour. I think it's that emotional attachment because they're really pretty. Oh yeah, I see what you mean, Ming. Yeah, I've seen that film. It's getting on a bit, that film is now. It's really bad acting. All right, taking my time. Look. There we are. Same on this one. Okay. And let's have a look down here. So I'm just going to do same sort of thing here. Look, always starting in that corner, and then just working my way down into there. And just following that line down. So we've got a little bit of consistency there. It's all about being repetitive, just making sure that we breathe at the same time. There we go. Nice and gentle, no brush. And of course you could, if you wanted to, have done this in different colours. So you could have started in black and added these lines in with a different colour fine liner. But, or maybe even a grey liner. I quite like using the grey fine liners. There we go. Okay. So, there we go. Next one then, let's move it in a little bit. Okay. And before, no, I think we'll do another one first. So I'm going to turn it round because I'm going to have one coming from a similar sort of similar place. So yeah, there, look, and it's going to come up and through and round and off to here. Okay, and again, let's put that bubble on the top. You see I've left that little bit of a gap. And then I'm just going to work my way around it so I've got that little bit of a teardrop at the top. Okay. And then again, let's bring in those curves. You see, I'm just keeping it going, even though it's sitting behind there. Still got those shapes. And then again, to this side. And that's going to sort of disappear into that bit there, so we're not going to see all of this one. Okay, so now bringing it back, let's add in those curves. There we go. All the way down. And same on this side. Now of course turn your tile so it's more comfortable for yourself. You don't have to keep it in one place. I used to say that to the kids in school. The paper moves. It's not stuck to one place, so don't worry about it. Okay, now this time I'm not going to add that extra aura in there. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to add just a few lines. You see, flicking out from the middle. Just flicking out from the middle. There we go. You see? Flicking out. And the same here. Just working the way in. They don't have to match, you don't have to do 3. Whatever works. You see, because I'm flicking it out, it's getting a little bit finer on the ends. That's what we want. We don't want to have just serious lines. We want a bit of it. There we are. Okay, so we've got a couple going on there. All right, I'm just going to pull out a little bit so you can see where that's working there. Okay. So shall we put one in here? And I'm trying to sort of do it as sort of different sort of curved lines. Let's do one a little bit larger, okay? And again, put the bobble on the top and then join it all together with a little teardrop shape. And then onto adding those curves. See, we've got this now, we know what we're doing. You think? No, this is a nice one. We're going to add a few bits and pieces, of course, but this one's quite a nice one. I thought we'd have a gentle Friday. There we go. You see, I'm just sort of turning my tile and working it around as I'm going. Oh, now Glennie. Do you know, I've actually done my sample for this one, or I'd say my practice piece, in the red tile. Yeah, she's very possessive at those red tiles. Yeah, she gets a bit edgy if she hasn't got any around her. There we go. Oh, Kathy, you and your sheep. Not today. I will do one, I will. But not today. There we go. See, I might just see a bit in there. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to just add those lines in again. So you don't have to add too many, just a few. See, that way the one that we've got at the front has got a little bit more definition. There we go. Then the others sort of behind it. So although I do have a plan for this, it's already changed. But I think that's quite nice, isn't it? It's nice to sort of work around a little bit and doing... Oh, I know, Lorraine, I know. Okay, so I've got sort of 3 going off there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose another one here. And I'm just going to put one here. Do you know, if you've got your pick of the day today, that's great. Because the guy came yesterday to collect and he took more than we'd booked for. And we did sort of say, look, I have got more, will you take them? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm ever so pleased that he did that. Sometimes you can get somebody that's really miserable and won't help, but when somebody's like, yeah, don't matter, we'll do that. It's really nice. There we go. Okay. It's into the lines just as before. There we go. And same here. Just adding that little curve in there. Just join that to the line there. Okay. All right, so I think for this one then, I'm going to add in that aura again. Just like to change it up a little bit. There we go. Just taking my time. Just following the line. Nothing else matters. It's just following that line. There we go. And just working my way around. There we go. See? Oh, Sue, is that right? I don't know why that is. I have the same thing, you know. Do you know I ordered a Tigger die? You know, I do have a little bit of a liking for Disney. And it was taking ages, so I got in touch and they said, oh yeah. They didn't have them in stock, but they have now. I'm like, really? Because I ordered it when it was in stock. And we're going to be delivering it. So then I had a message from Royal Mail and it said, oh, we're going to be delivering it. I was like, okay, here's your tracking number. Didn't arrive. So I went and checked the tracking and it said that my parcel had been delivered. I was like, no, it hasn't. So I must admit, I did get in touch with Crate and Craft. I emailed them and they did call me back and they just said, oh, it says it's been delivered. I was like, no, it hasn't. And they said, well, we can't send anything again because we haven't got any in stock. So I had to sort of fill out a claims form just like anybody else would. It's because I'm a supplier, you know, I'm a customer too. But yeah, I got my money back, but no Tigger die. I was gutted. But never mind. Never mind. There we are. Okay, just adding those little lines in as I go. And so working my way around. Oh no, look. Okay. So we're getting quite a nice sort of array of these little designs now. I mean, you can mix and match. There we are. I think I am gonna add another one here. So from a similar point, look. There we are. And in here. And then again, a little bit of a bobble there. And round and in. Okay, so same again. Here we go with those little curves. See, are we all under a false sense of security yet? Just thinking that we're going to be doing these. I think we're going to add a little bit something else in a minute. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Add in again those lovely little curved lines. See, do I want one? I'm going to extend it a little bit, I think, so I can put one in there. There we go. And again, from the point, working my way down. Oh, joining. There we go. Okay. And there we are. Just add in those little lines again. See, I'll get a couple down that bottom edge there. Just wanted to give the sense that they weren't just one-dimensional, that we've got some of these growing in and amongst each other. Okay, so let's just make it a little bit larger, because what I want to do with these little teardroppies is I'm just going to come on in and I'm going to add in some little couple of lines either side and then either side. Alright, so I'm going to do the same with this one. Let's add in some of those little bobbles. Now, I could have done this whilst I was working on the each one individually, but sometimes it's quite nice to come back and do it afterwards, just so you've got that bit of consistency going on there. And again, let's add in those little lines side. Okay, and same with this one. Here we go. Just adding them around there. Just adds a little bit of texture, doesn't it? Of course, you could do this with a different colour pen, or I don't know, gold or a silver gel pen. But of course, if you're going to do that, do it. Oh, Vera, that's funny. Well, yeah, if you're going to use a white, or, you know, a gel pen in particular, then do it afterwards once you've done all the shading, because you don't want to have to try and shade over a gel pen. That's not what we want. Okay. Oh, Joe, have you? Yeah, Leslie's doing me a chocolate mint tea. Yeah, that's the one. See, it's bad when you don't even know what you drink because you don't make enough. All right, ready for the next bit? Oh, deep breath. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of come out from one of these sort of lines here. And if I follow that around and just create a little bit of a wobble. All right, liking that one. And then, of course, just going to add a little bobble on the top and colour that in. Look. Okay, same again. So I'm going to do one this way this time. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bobble on the end. Okay. So I think I'm going to come down to this one and add one here. There we are. Don't have to add two each time. So, and I don't have to do one on each one. I'm going to leave a couple, and then I'm just going to come up and round here, add a bobble on the end there. Okay, and then, yeah. Oh, is that Samantha? Hey, Sal. I've seen your text, but I've not read it yet, if that makes sense. But yeah, I do remember it, and I'll message you at some point. So I've not forgotten. I saw it when I was packing, and I know that if I open things, thank you, Leslie.
It's not Prosecco, which we need.
No, we do. Yeah, you know, if you see a text and you're packing, you think I'll open it in a minute, because if you open it, then it's sort of a can of worms gets set off, and then you're not packing anymore, and then Hermes comes and you've not done everything. So, there you go. Look. Oh, I'm loving there. I like these. And I know some of you are a little bit scared about being random and organic. I mean, these are just a curl. Not buying a Prosecco, not while she's working. Oh, dear me. No, it's what would I do without Leslie? Eh? Oh, I do like that. Liking this. Here we go. Let's have a couple on this one. Okay. Just a little bit wavy, so that's going to go underneath there, so we're not going to see that one. Well, let's bring one up here. See, he's sort of wandered his way round. There we are. And then into this one here. There you go. See, I'm going to have one here. See, I'm going to have this coming over this one, just because I can. No, Yvonne, no, it's too early for Prosecco. Oh, see, that went a bit wonky then. Oh, I know, Lisa. I can remember packing yours, Lisa, so yours definitely did get packed yesterday. So, yeah, fingers crossed for you. See, yours went out before my mum's. Excuse me. My mum's is in one of the boxes to go today. I know, she orders from Crate and Craft, I know. Okay. Oh, I suppose it is, yes. I suppose it is 5 o'clock somewhere. But no, I'll stick with my tea for now. Could you imagine us drinking Prosecco and packing your parcels? Could you imagine what you'd be getting? So it wouldn't be the right stuff. And I know sometimes we get it wrong. And we pack something, that we shouldn't. We do apologise in advance if we've done that this time. But we do try. Very trying, as my husband would say. Okay. Oh, dear me. All right, so, as ever, if you've never done a zinger before, here we go. Let's have a look. And in we go with a line, a little dot. And then, here we go. Little lines that get smaller and smaller each time. And we do another. So we aura around that little dot apart. Lindsay, that's a good idea. Yeah. We had a little bit of a panic attack earlier because we've got all our books, the 1 to 4, and they're all in separate boxes. But sometimes John, look, my wonderful husband, he'll coil the books for me while he's got a minute. And then he just puts them all in a pile. And he doesn't sort of separate them out into book order. So we had a bit of a panic attack because book 3s were in with book 4s. But we think we've got it, don't we, Leslie? Here we go. You see, let's have one here. There we go. Okay. A little one there. See, am I doing enough singers today? Go. Let's have another one here, look. See, you can do them as long, short, tall, as fat as you like. See a little bit of a wobble there. These are the really nice little tangle to add in with what you're doing. Okay. So I'm just going to come on in now and I'm going to add in that border that we had in originally. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to draw all of it in because some of your tangles now are actually behind. Now, of course, if you wanted to keep it completely straight, so I'm going to add a little bit of a wave in there, then by all means you could use a straight edge if you want to. Now, I know some of you are asking about John's ruler that he did for me the other day, and I have put some of them on the website for you. He's machined some more. There we are. But I'm just going to do freehand there. There we go. Let's have a look at that. You see, so sometimes you think, okay, I don't really want to do freehand. It worries me. If you're not so sure, then do a bit and add a kink in and wave it on purpose. And that way it looks like it's part of the design rather than you sort of stressing over it about whether it's going to work or not. That's the sort of the way I sort of see it anyway. So, okay, are we ready for the next bit? I'm going to come in today and use a little bit of colour, as always. Let's have a look. So, I've got some my pastel pencils here. Oh, okay, Richard. Say goodbye to me. We'll see you soon. Okay, I'm going to come in with a little bit of purple. Now, if you're wanting to use pastels, then you can come in and you can use your tortillon, just as you would with your pencil. If you're using regular coloured pencils, then it's not going to be as easy. You're going to have to blend for yourself. So I'm going to treat this just like I would a normal pencil, okay? So I'm going to come in with this one here, and I'm going to add in some of this pastel just up, let's call it the stem. You see? And then same down here. See, I'm not particularly colouring, I'm just applying colour. Okay, let's go a little bit, just so you can see. See, it's very scruffy, but that's fine. That's how we don't want to spend hours trying to add some colour and make it look neat, because we're just going to use a tortillon anyway to sort of soften it. Okay, so I've just worked some on the edges as well, and the same here, working my way just sort of along those edges. Now the idea is to try and leave some in the centre without any, so that's why you see just touch the edges. And usually tortillon wise, when using pastels, I'd start with a clean one. This has got graphite on, as you can see. Scruffy how we roll, yeah. Oh yeah, pencil, it's a pastel. Hang on a second. There we go. It's my Brunswick pastels. Now I do mean to get some of these in stock. I do need to put an order in, and they do take about 2 weeks to get here, or missed a bit. So if you like them and you've been after them for ages and you want some, just sort of message me and let me know, and then I'll make sure that when they come in, I'll sort of put your name on a set. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? Look, I'm leaving a gap in the middle, so I'm working from the top and from the bottom. Okay, each time from the top, from the bottom. I'm just leaving that gap in there. And again, you know, don't think, oh, it's got to be a perfect smooth blend. You're after a little bit of texture anyway. Oh, Bernadette, what plate combination? I've got to think now. I use the two clear plasticky ones. I use the rubber one. Is that it? Oh, and I use like, they've got a white sort of frosted plasticky one as well. So if you put the clear plastic one down, then you put, I'm going to think now, I always have to work it out. Then you put the clear plate on, then you put the plasticky white one on, then you put your rubber mat on, then you put your paper face down, then you put your stencil on the top, then you put your other clear one on the top of that, and then run it through. And it works that way. Gosh, I had to think then. Yeah. I thought I was supposed to be having an easy time. Okay. All right, here we go then. So you can see where that now has come. And we've got a little bit of sort of shadow in there. We can come and do something else with that later, but I'm just going to now work on this one here. See the difference like between that and adding a little bit? It's the same again, look. Just going to work all the way down the stem, both sides. And then a little bit across the tops there. Not this one because it's part of the other, isn't it? So it's not a problem. Oh, okay. Thanks, Bernadette. I hope that explained it enough. But you know what? Just give it a go. If you're not sure, run it through and see what happens. And it'll go one way or the other. Oh, Christine, you're moving. Oh, that must be quite a stress. Certainly, oh no, it was in normal times moving stressful. I hope it goes all right for you. There we go. So you see, doing the same again, just adding that little bit of softness to the edges. And there we go. Nice and gentle, like this. That's quite nice, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to come in with a. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to just add a touch. Just on the edge there, you see, just on one edge. With that little teardrop. I'm not touching the middle. Let's just soften that off that side. And that side there. There we go. Okay. So now it's a bit of a choice as to what colour. I say a bit of a choice. I'm going to go, there's like a magenta-y colour in here. I think I'm going to go with that one. It sort of matches my theme. goodness, 29 moves. My goodness. Okay, oh yeah, look at that for a choice of colour. Oh, I love that. So, same again, look. Along there. And then up and along this one. And again, let's just add in that little bit on the edges. Just a touch. Okay. And then let's just do that around there as we're going. And again on the edges. Now this time I think what I'll do is I'm going to do all of them first. You know, apply this bit of pastel colour. And then I'll come back and I use the torch in a short while. There we are. It's nice to have the contrast of colours, I think. I mean, I could have come in with just a pencil today and a bit of a white pencil for the highlights, but I'm glad I did this. It's a little bit different, isn't it? And then, of course, if I'm going to put in a journal or something, I need to fix it. So, as we all know now, we can use hairspray to fix. It's fine. But if you want a more permanent, then you're probably going to be looking at a fixative, which you can get from our regular Amazon. But, hairspray does a good job. You can actually apply more on the top of that and the fixative. So if you think, do you know what, I've done it and it needs another coat, it just means that it's not going to affect what's underneath. So it's quite nice to build layers too, if you want to. So there's options, but you know, certainly with pastel, because they're a bit chalky, they will rub off onto something else if you've got something that goes on top of it. So just be aware of that. But they look fantastic, and because you can use them with a tortillon, it's really nice to sort of use. There you go. And of course you don't have to be perfecto colorist, do you? Because you could just see it. And again, I'm coming in with the same tortillon, so there's going to be a little bit of crossover, but I don't mind so much with this one. I think if I was using, say, a yellow pastel, I'd definitely come in with a clean tortillon because I wouldn't want to be muddying that colour up. But because they're pretty close, they're sort of work in harmony together, don't they? So it doesn't really matter so much. There you are, see, and it'll fade out as we do a little bit more. There we go. Now, just work from side to side as we go. There we are. And this is where it starts to come to life, isn't it? Where you start to add in that shadow and that little bit of three-dimensional area starts to come. We're going to enhance that a little bit. Well, I just wanted to get the colour on first. Look at these, aren't they sweet? I do like this colour choice. I'm glad I chose pink. Though pink's not always my colour, but yeah, it's quite nice. Nice to have a change. Of course, I haven't demonstrated with a pink tile before. There we are. So just take your time, just enjoy this moment. You know, it's almost like, it's like a Christmas present you want to open, but you don't want to know, and you want to sort of like really hold on to that feeling of excitement. So sometimes, you know, working on a tile and you think, oh, I don't want it to get to the end, but I want to see what it looks like. It's quite something. I love it. Look at this. That's working lovely. I'm pleased with this. You see, I'm being ever so careful that I don't want to put my hand over what I've already worked on, because I don't want to smudge it, because I could be in danger doing that if I'm not careful. There we are. Oh, that's sweet. Let's have a look where we're at. Okay. Loving it. So we need a couple of other bits going on here. So I'm just going to come back in with that lovely magenta-y colour. You see where I've got these little sort of bobbly shapes. I'm just going to add a little bit, see underneath? Just sort of trail it off a little. See, just trail it off a little bit underneath. So I'm hardly adding any, I'm just sort of giving it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a sort of drop shadow almost. Okay, let's do the same on these. And of course, I'll tell you what's quite nice, the fact that although my tile's mostly pink underneath, it has got a couple of little shadows because I added a bit of ink, you know, before I did this. So yeah, I'm not going to do, I'll do this as well. I'm just going to add a little bit onto that. There we are. There you go. Oh, that's it. See this coming off here? I think I'm going to go in with the purple. There we go. Just add a little bit of purple in there. See, so again, I'm not trying to sort of copy what I've already done. It's just about, that wants to be a bit pink, doesn't it? Just sort of adding a touch to it. There we go. Oh, Margarita, where have you been? John created a ruler for me because I wanted a straight edge, but I wanted to have, you know, angles or curves, and they are circle and square at the same time, rather than me picking up the same, you know, 2 or 3 different tools. So he created me a ruler. There we go, look, see? Ruler. 30 on, but it's got circles and squares on, look. It's got protractor on the end. And of course, it's tangleable. Everything is tangleable, but yeah. So, yeah, he made me one. And somebody said that, can John make me one too? So he's like, okay. So I don't feel special anymore because he's made one for you all as well. He didn't do it just for me. Okay, see here, I'm just sort of coming in and softening the edges up really. I'm not trying to be too neat about it. I'm just giving it a little bit of sort of a wiggly movement with that tortillon. Okay. Oh, he's definitely a keeper. Mind you, I don't know if anybody else would put up with me now. I mean, I've been married to him for 20 years. Yeah. Okay, I think he puts up with me. Okay, what do I have in my hand now? I have my black pastel. And use it lightly because it's very, very potent. So what am I doing? I'm just sort of adding a little bit, you see, it just sort of flicks up in the centre. You see? Okay. And I'm just now going to go up and along each one. What I'm trying to do is just create a little bit more depth in that middle bit. But you see, I'm not doing a full line. I'm doing sort of like little notches. It's almost like little stitches almost. Just to sort of give it a little bit of depth. There we go. Okay, oh, Chris, yes, I do have. At the moment on the website, there are brights, monochrome, and the regular cream ones. These ones that I'm using now, these are the pastel ones. They're coming out at the end of the week, next week. So they'll be on there soon as well. So in the pastels, there's a pink, obviously. I think you possibly see me use a blue. We did a tile with a blue as well not so long ago. There's a really nice lemon colour, and there's a really soft green as well. So there we go. So I'm just sort of feathering that out just a little bit. I'm not wanting it to totally distract with all the colour, but I'm just sort of easing that black in. There we go. Okay. See, just little flicks. And because I've already softened out the colour, the black's not going to have too much of an effect over the, you know, and mix with it and make it too muddy. Let's It's just going to sort of sit on top of it, and that's what we want. Same here. Okay. Now I know this seems like quite a lot and you think, oh, why not just do one at once? But it's really important, I think, that we take our time and we go through and do everything in sections. Okay, so here we go now. I'm going to work on this one first. I'm backing with this black, and all I'm going to do is just add a little bit at the top sections there, you see? I'm not trying to overdo it with the black, because as I said, it's very potent, but we just want a little bit on each one, okay? And same on this side. You see, so I'm not going down the whole line. I'm just adding some. There we go. As I work my way down. And then same with the purpley one, you're not going to see as much, but it still needs to be there. There we go. And then same here. There we go. Just working it down. Taking my time. Okay. Same with this one. So from the edge, I'm just going to work it down. See, I'm not doing a lot of it. I'm just starting it at the top. It's almost a very, very gentle flicking motion again. Okay. And then in we go. This side. And of course, I might as well do all of that side in one go. And then down here. Okay. And then this one. Almost there with that. Now, if you find that this is a little bit too much, you don't have to do it. I just think it's got that little bit of depth, but we're going to add a little bit of highlight in there in a moment, so just sort of hang in there a bit. So you see how we've got a little bit of sort of shadow going on. Now, I'm not going to actually blend that out. What I am going to do though, I'm going to come in with a white pastel now. You see that already you can see where this is going. So let's just put a little bit onto the little sort of gem shape there. And then I'm going to add a little bit, see, just like zigzags almost in that gap that we left. So I'm quite gentle with this. I'm not really pressing on seriously. I'm just sort of letting it do its thing. And just sort of putting that highlight in. See the difference that makes just by adding that little bit of white. And of course, because we've got the contrast there. There we go. You see? Just taking my time. This is the bit that you can sort of enjoy at the end, because you know that putting these highlights in, you're almost at the end. Oh, Christine, no. I will ask him. I will. Please don't panic. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But yeah, I will. I'll get him to make some more. I didn't think I needed many. All right, I'll get him back onto it. So, no, I've already given him a list for concept stencils. We need some more of them, don't we now? There we go. Okay, see? The difference that little bit of light makes there. There we are. See, and I'm not going to blend this out. I'm just going to leave it. Because sometimes you want that little bit of texture. You don't want everything to be a soft, smooth blend. And I want to keep it serious white. Oh, Chris, yeah, I hope it went all right. We're a supportive group. It is nice to have, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so last sort of thing to do now is we're going to sort of add a little bit of shadow around the border, so you can either add it on the outside or the inside, and it obviously it has a little bit of difference depending on what it is you're going to do. What I am going to work with is just my regular pencil. There we go, and I'm just going to add a little bit around. Oh, we can hear the doorbell's just gone. Guess who's arrived? Alright, see, I'm just going to go around that little bit. There we are. And into there. And then in we go. There we are. Just adding up. See that touch of pencil? Now I could actually go back and do a little bit more of this in a short while. Depends on how heavy you want to go. But because these tiles are super smooth, then you want to be sort of building it in layers and not overdoing it. I am coming in with a different tortillon. This is just graphite because I don't want any of that sort of pastel colour around here. I just want to keep it with that grey pencil if I can. See, there we go. You see how much that's sort of moved out? There we go. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's nice to say something, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's all good. Of course, it's nice to know that we've got tile swap 3 on the way as well. Well, ongoing, isn't it? So if you posted your tile, they're starting to come through. Just be aware though. Just check out the video because I'm sending them to a different address. And there's a lady that did mention actually, because it's nice to sort of get into contact with the person whose tile you've swapped with. If you're not particularly a Facebook fan or whatever and you don't mind somebody contacting you, then maybe if you want to put your email address on the back, please feel free to do that. That's absolutely fine. Even if it's, just somebody emailing you say, thank you, got your tile, at least you know it sort of got there. So, okay. At this point, I mean, we could go on and on and on. We could just keep adding different colours to it and things, but I think I'm going to sign it there. All right, here we go. I'm going to sign it down in this corner here. There we go. And I just want to sort of show you a different version of it, if I may. But there's Friday's tile. And if I just sort of leave that there, I'm just going to pull out a bit. Now, it's a bit different, isn't it? And of course we could come in and you could add different things in around here. But I'm not going to overdo it and complicate it too much today. So here's one of those lovely cherry red tiles that we keep saying Leslie keeps trying to pinch. There we are. So you can see there, instead of using the black, I've actually used a white gel pen to add in some detail there. And then of course I've used sort of different colours to sort of come out and work with it again. So whether you want to work on a dark tile with a different colour gel pen, or whether you want to work on something a little bit lighter or no colour at all, just a little bit of pencil, it's entirely up to you. It's whatever you want to do with it. But it's quite a nice one to sort of have a play with, and whether you want to go larger, you could try changing the shape here and go maybe straight or a bit of a wobble. There's a lot you can do with it, so have a play with this one. Even if you use one of the half tiles and just draw one and see where it goes, you can get quite elaborate with it. But I thought I'd keep it simple and sweet today so you could see where you were going and have a play with that. So all right, all that's left for me to say then is have a lovely weekend. Get on with what you need to do. Put your feet up, don't work too hard. And of course we'll be back Wednesday. So hopefully Wednesday I'll be all vaccinated up, and definitely will give you a little bit of a sneak preview on the new stencils that are coming on Create and Craft next week. I know, sorry, more new stencils. But I had to do it. It just felt right. That's how it goes. They're really beautiful. There's a new shaped frame and there's a new stencil set coming. Of course, and the new pastel tiles and oh my goodness me, sketch pad. So lots to look forward to. So have a lovely weekend, everybody, and take care, and I will speak to you next week. All right, Bye.